Welcome to Mishna study Masach Makkot Peragim on Mishnah Hey, continuing with the laws of mitzvot lo ta'aseh that you get malkut for, and we're going to speak about now if you do multiple violations at once, specifically around cutting hair. Let's say hakorech korha b'rosho. If someone makes a bald spot on his head, okay. So this we know from the Pesukim, one in Sefer Vayikra. Pasuk says lo yikrehu korha. It's talking about the Kohanim over there, right? That they shouldn't make a bald spot in the head. And we learn lo yikrehu korha for each time you do it. Okay? We'll see over here. The Mishnah is going to elaborate, but every time you make a bald spot on your head, Hanabam says he's picking his hair out. It has to be over a dead person, meaning you're doing it because of someone that died. And when there's a spot that's showing at least the size of a grease. Right, it's a lentil about the size of a dime, that's when he will get malkut. Now, even though the pasuk in Sefer Vayikra doesn't say that it's talking about over a dead person, right? It doesn't say Porha al met by the Kohanim specifically, but we learn it from his Gezerah Shavah, from the other pasuk that mentions in Sefer Devarim when it says speaking about Israel, right? Velo tasimu korha ben enechem lamet. Right, so you can't put it in between, in between your eyes for a met. And over here, in between your eyes, we learn is berocham. Right, we learn both ways, and yeah, that's how we learn from lo yikrehu korha berosham. Hamakiv pe'at rosho. Right, if someone is makif, right, so he cuts off the sides of his, all around his head, right. So he has, where his pe'ot are. Like a mushroom, right? A mushroom haircut, cutting all around, the sides of his head and leaving the hair is on top, but he cuts around all the sides of his head. That is hamashchit pe'at rosho. V'hamashchit pe'at zekano. Mashchit pe'at zekano. There's 5 spots in the zakan. Hanabah mentions, right? One right by his upper jaw, his lower jaw, and then in the middle. Plus the other side, on both sides of the head. So you have, two, and then by the chin coming down. Those are the 5 spots of pe'at zekano. If someone cuts himself, right, one cut over a dead person, he's chayav. All these he's chayav lo ta'aseh, and I'll get malkut for it. If he makes one cut over 5 dead people, or chamesh siritot al met echad, right, or 5 siritot, 5 cuts over one person. Right, so as we said, he'll be chayav each time. Why? For the pasuk says v'seret lanefesh, v'chayav al kol seret v'al kol nefesh v'nefesh. Right, chayav on each seret, each cut, and each dead. Chayav kol achad achad. V'chayav al rosh shetayim, achat mikan ve'achat mikan. Right, on the head, if he cuts all the way around his head, right, shaves around his head, he's chayav on both sides of his head, 1 and 1. Zakan chamisha, and 5 over the zakan, as we mentioned, to his upper jaw, shtayim mikan, to his lower jaw, v'achat milimatan, by his chin. Rabbi Eliezer omer, im netalo kulo ke'achat, eno chayav ela achat. If he cuts it all for one swoop, one shot, he's only going to be chayav once. Is not like Rabbi Eliezer. Ve'eno chayav ad she'yitenenu batar. He's not going to be chayav until he actually cuts off with a razor. Right, a blade where it's cutting it, to his skin, uprooting, cutting it at the root. That's when he's gonna be hayav. Ve'eno hayav, really, okay, right. That's according to Chachamim. Rabbi Azar Omer, right over here. Rabbi Azar, right. It's not about Gures, not Eliezer, but Rabbi Azar Omer lekato b'malketet or berehitni hayav. Right, so if he takes a malketet or rehitni is a piece of iron, a piece of metal, but again, it's not uprooting the hair. It's not cutting it at the root. And the malketet is a tweezers again, right? So he's not putting the blade to his his skin. So both those, you're according to Rabbi Azar, you'll be chayav, and halacha is not like Rabbi Azar.